What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Aranda here, and I'm back with another video. So in this video, I'll be giving you the latest watches, warnings, and advisories taking place across the United States right now. Not much. We do have some freeze warnings and freeze watches ongoing up towards the, well, frost advisories. I'm going for the Northeast. So let's go ahead and get into this video. I would want to point out, I'm keeping an eye out on this region right about down here, just south of Florida, in that region right there, before a potential tropical development. Either it's going to be a tropical depression, tropical storm, or a hurricane. But the GFS model, when I just looked at it, was showing situation down here. And I was wondering, like, why is it just stalling? There's something down, a lot of moisture was down here just stalling, and then it got stronger and stronger, and then it started doing rotation. I was like, okay, that's either going to be a depression, a tropical storm, or a hurricane or something. And it was trying to make its way towards this region right here into Florida. Now, where it goes, if it does form, this is a big if it does form, and if it does decide to make a landfall, well, it most likely might impact Florida, or it might just go into the Gulf, or it might just get shifted and go into the Atlantic and not bother anybody, or might double back and start trying to head towards South Carolina or the coastline of North Carolina. It is a possibility. With the tropical storms and hurricanes, it is kind of hard to predict where they would actually go once they form. They got to worry about the environment and all, and the intensity of this. I mean, even if it's a tropical depression, it can cause a lot of flooding, windy conditions, a lot of stuff like that. A tropical storm, you might hear a tropical storm, be like, oh, okay, it's a tropical storm. It's not like no major hurricane or anything. I should be fine with that. You should still be prepared, because it just takes one tropical storm, one tropical depression, one hurricane to change your life forever. You don't have to be a Cat 3, a major Cat 3. You don't have to be a Cat 4. You don't have to be a catastrophic Cat 5, dumping 30 plus inches of rain like Hurricane Florence did for North Carolina. Especially where I live in the coastal part of North Carolina was basically a direct landfall from Hurricane Florence back in 2018, which had the city shut down for 7 days, and mandatory evacuations was issued. There was at least 31 inches was dropped where I live in North Carolina for the coastal part. Even an hour way back down towards Wilmington, 30 to 1 to 50 inches of rain had dropped for Wilmington area. So I mean, it just was a lot of rain, and it was strong gusty winds. I think over 200 miles per hour. It has to have been easily over 200 miles per hour winds ripping through North Carolina. Even when I was evacuated up towards the Triangle area, that Raleigh area for North Carolina, it was still windy, and they still got several inches of rain that got dumped up there as well. So it's just something we're gonna have to watch out for. Yes, you're supposed to have a more below average hurricane season, or near average for the Atlantic and the Gulf. The West Coast is supposed to have a more active, but regardless, it's possible for us to see some major hurricanes make landfall for the southeast, or down there in the deep south for the Gulf areas like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, the peninsula of Florida, even could impact Georgia, the coastline of South Carolina, coastline of North Carolina, coastline of Virginia, and even just bring a washout up to the Northeast. It is possible. We still got to watch out for California and Hawaii for any tropical development if this decides to make a landfall, even down there in Mexico. So let's go ahead and get started with this video. So we're going to start up into the Northeast. We do have, look like, some freeze warnings and frost advisories, and the hazardous weather outlook, which might get upgraded to freeze warnings and frost advisories, and that's up there in New York. We move forward a little bit more, and we go into Vermont, and we do have freeze warnings, frost advisories, and a hazardous weather outlook. About the same thing, but was in New York. We move a little bit further, we go into Maine. We do have freeze warnings, frost advisories, and a hazardous weather outlook. A lot of rain supposed to be getting up towards this region right here in the coming days. We can go all the way out to, if it will let me click it, Illinois. Illinois is dealing with a flood warning, a beach hazard statement, and a hazardous weather outlook for Illinois right now. We go into Kentucky. Kentucky is dealing with a flood warning, a flood advisory, and a hazardous weather outlook for Kentucky. We move forward and go to Missouri. Missouri is dealing with a flood warning and a hazardous weather outlook. If I can go back, there we go. I think it's just, yeah, this is Kentucky. We can go into Oklahoma, and look like they're dealing with a flood warning as well. We do have, yeah, we have flood warnings issued, no, flood advisories issued for north of Oklahoma City, and it has this weather outlook. That might get extended though. We do have flood advisories issued for Texas already, and flash flood warnings. Yeah, we have flash flood warnings issued for 3 areas in Texas, and we have a flood advisory issued for Texas, and we have a flood watch for basically the entire coastline of Texas. Now, this region right here is supposed to get a lot of rain, and it's just gonna keep coming and coming and coming. So flood watches is issued for down there in Texas. We do have red flag warnings out in Colorado, southwestern Colorado. You do have red flag warnings for high fire danger, and a hazardous weather outlook also been issued as well. We move a little bit further into Utah. Utah is dealing with, for the eastern part of Utah, red flag warnings, lake wind advisory, and a frost advisory. We go a little bit further northwest. We do go into Idaho, and Idaho is dealing with a winter storm warning, lake wind advisory, and a frost advisory. It is currently snowing up there in Idaho, and then going down towards the southern part of Montana. Montana is dealing with winter storm warning and a winter weather advisory, frost advisory, and a hazardous weather outlook for Montana. So that's what's going on there. We can move out towards the west coast. So they do have air quality alerts issued. Yep, we do have air quality alerts issued for um, out there in California. Now, this might be related to the wildfires that's currently burning and probably bringing smoky conditions all throughout the southern part of California. The fire is roughly around this area right here, just west of or east of Los Angeles. So it's possible that those air quality alerts do get extended a little bit further. And up here, we do have air quality alerts look like issued for. No, it was showing, looked like it was, but we do have gale warnings, small craft advisories, and hazardous sea waves. Well, warning actually for the coastline of California. We go all the way up here for Washington State. They're under a flood advisory and a small craft advisory as well for Washington State. All the way up here, I think this is in Michigan. No, this is Minnesota. Minnesota is dealing with a flood warning, a small crab advisory, a frost advisory, a beach hazardous statement, and a hazardous weather outlook. So that's what's going on there for Minnesota. And it looks like that's about it. We do have like a marine warning just off the coast of Texas and Louisiana. But regardless, we might be seeing a lot of flood warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings being issued across the southeast, including North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama. And Florida. And we also, for the deep south, we might be seeing some severe thunderstorm warnings, potentially tornado warnings for the, let's see, what's this state right here? Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma. We can start seeing those as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. There wasn't many alerts, but we did have quite a bit, mainly frost advisory and winter storm warnings being issued. So with that being said, it's your boy Arunde out.